So you wanted to see some of her work, and these are among my favorites as far as the expressiveness of it. It's just, look at the eyes. Don't touch, keep out, private, including parents. And there's even a lock on it.
So you haven't opened it?
It's private. This is what it looks like when you have a 2-year-old do embroidery.
Linda preserves a vast collection of drawings, paintings, stories, plays, and recordings that Sharon created during her 9 years of life, none of which have ever been seen or heard publicly before.
Okay. Sharon, you know any songs?
With your ears, let's skip our tune. The million matches one. When singing songs of scariness, of bloodiness, and 3,000 pounds and 9 feet tall, the won't be 4 feet. But it is true that I got everything done. That's what you call really weird.
It's Sharon speaking for herself here. All this stuff that's what it is. And she never did like anyone speaking for her. It embarrassed her. So I could say, you know, how great she was and all this stuff. And mostly people wouldn't believe it anyway because I'm her mother. And, or they would take it with a grain of salt anyway. And I know that she wouldn't like it. So, because she had her own voice. These are the books that were in Sharon's desk at school.
Linda does not talk about Dennis Howe, the man police say took Sharon's life. And though he has occupied her thoughts in the past, Linda keeps her focus on the life that was her daughter. The vast collection of Sharon's work starkly contrasts with the voluminous case file on her murder and fugitive Dennis Howe.
He'd fled, and we've been looking for him ever since. It is a solved case. We know that Dennis is responsible for it, and we have a warrant out for first-degree murder.
Police say they have DNA evidence that links Dennis Melvyn Howe to the Brunswick Avenue apartment and to Sharon.
So this is a partial list here. Some of the sightings of people that purported to be Dennis goes into the hundreds of sightings all across Canada, all across the U.S. and it's there. How can somebody elude the police and just disappear off the face of the earth without really leaving a trace behind?
In March 1983, police released a photo of Dennis Howe that blasted across the continent on newspapers, newscasts, and bus shelters. But the problem is, Howe at the time of Sharon's murder looked at least 20 pounds lighter than this overweight image of him that is still widely published and remembered to this day. Dennis Howe looked more like this photo, minus the mustache, when he left Toronto on January 24, 1983, the day after Sharon Keenan disappeared from the park. Years later, in 1988, 1994, and 2002, police released these seldom seen versions of the lighter weight Dennis Howe to show him as he might appear as an older man. Howe was born on September 26, 1940, and was known to use different aliases, often with his real birth date. After Sharon Keenan's murder, a profile of Howe emerged. A chain smoker of plain Players cigarettes who likes to line them up on the table. A left-handed man with a fast, shuffling gait and crooked pinkies. A homeless drifter with bad teeth, a scar on his chin, and a loud, braying laugh who uses the word turkey to describe both people and things. But this profile, while important, on its own has led to a dead end.